Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 52 units of real estate and I help coach people to buy their first multifamily deal. So I want to talk about what it's like for me growing up frugal as a kid and how it kind of translated to me building a larger net worth than I'd ever imagined in my mid 30s. So I remember growing up as a kid, I always liked to I'd get money. Like as a kid, you get like money for your birthday, you get money for Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. And in Asian communities, it's very common just to give money as a gift versus like an actual physical gift. So I remember like I would like take that money and I'd put it in my little safe box in a house, and it wouldn't be much. It could be like $5, and I'd leave it there. And I remember like periodically I'd go in my closet and just start counting my money and really trying to like accumulate over time. Or I remember like I used to get like my bank statements when I was a kid, and then my parents would contribute to it for my college funds. And I kind of felt like it was my money, but realistically, it wasn't. It was just my parents putting money in there for my college. But it was kind of cool to see it grow. Kind of cool to see like the monthly dividends slowly grow in that portfolio or that bank account. So I always kind of was fascinated about it, but I never really understood it. And then as I grew up older, what I picked up from my parents is like being very frugal and was being very frugal and basically spending on things that like brought value to me. And I grew up with friends who were like that too, so luckily like I didn't grow up around like a bunch of rich kids who are like just blowing their parents money on like nice cars and all that. Like I grew up with like a good group of friends who I'm still like really close with today. Like they're still my best friends today. And they themselves are like live pretty humbly, live very frugally, despite making money themselves. And like we just enjoy the very simple things in lives. Like we just enjoy spending time together. We enjoy going like hikes, which is free. We enjoy like playing sports together, whether it's tennis, basketball, badminton, which I guess costs a little bit of money to get in. And like we enjoy eating like high end food together, and we also enjoy going to like Panda Express or Chipotle or some like cheap taco truck to eat. Right, so like we enjoy like the finer foods, and then we enjoy the more casual foods. And the key thing is just like who you spend time with. For me, I don't really spend that much money on like drinks and alcohol. So like if I go to like a nice dinner, like it's not normal for us to get like a glass of wine or something because we don't really enjoy alcohol that much. I mean, I'm technically allergic to alcohol. So like me and Christine don't drink much, and my friends as well, they don't really drink much as well. But I know it can get expensive if you hang out, if you like to drink and you like to go on the weekends with a bunch of other people who like to drink, and each shot's like $20 each, and each cocktail is like $25 each, and that weekend can end up costing a couple $100. Especially if you start to drink more, get more buzzed, and your inhibitions go down, so you buy more alcohol, right? So for me, if I wasn't more into drinking, like you can just buy like a handle of alcohol, at Costco or something, or Bevmo, and then it's like 20-40 bucks for a whole handle versus a shot. It's like $20 each. So there's a ways to enjoy drinking and doing that. And for me, that's why like I don't care to go to like sports bars or whatever, like unless I'm watching sports. Like for me, I like to go more to like the themed bars where it's like more of a theme, more of an experience, in which case I'll just usually buy one cocktail there, or you just can like pregame yourself, and then by the time you go to the bar, you're just getting like a drink or two to like really enjoy the vibe and the ambiance. But what I learned about drinking is that it's more about like who you're drinking with and who you're spending time with and who you're trying to have a good time with, right? And you can do that at home in your backyard, on your balcony, or at the community center, like, and still have a good time, right? So for me, like alcohol hasn't really been a thing. um so like I don't really spend too much money on alcohol. I don't really spend too much on like, I mean, I do eat out nicely like once in a while, but I don't need to eat out at a fancy restaurant every single weekend, right? Or every single Friday. um but for special occasions we'll definitely go out. But other than that, we kind of eat more like casual food that we enjoy as well. In terms of like clothes, material goods, I don't really care too much about that. Like I've always been a bit minimalist. I say that despite buying a bunch of stuff, but like every time I buy clothes or shoes, it's always like on sale. Like I said, clothes doesn't really bring me as much value nowadays. Maybe when I was like in my 20s it did, but my 30s it doesn't really bring much value. For me, like when things go on sale, like I'll buy a lot. Like oftentimes, like you have a Black Friday sale at Macy's. Then I took the opportunity to go buy a bunch of like work shoes for my work. So, now I have like 8, 10 pairs that I bought at a great deal for like $20 each, and it's going to last me for the next 4 or 5 years in terms of shoes. So when I buy, I hoard up a lot. And then, like, at the end of the clearance sales, you can buy a lot of good clothes. For me, I just focus more on fit. I focus more on like, how does it look? And I focus more on like buying more neutral in terms of colors. Like I said, clothes doesn't really bring much value. Like if I have like a $100 Supreme shirt, I don't feel happy from that. I can get a $5 shirt and feel just as happy, like, to be honest. So, I buy a lot of my clothes on sale. Like in terms of material things, like I don't really spend like too much on material things. Like I hate buying useless things that I don't use because it just creates clutter in your house. So like everything that I buy, I'm very like methodical about it. Like here I just bought this sofa I'm sitting on. That's brand new, but I use the sofa a lot, and it's very comfortable for me and Christine. So I'll spend money on that. I like spending money on TVs, but I got TVs on sale at Costco, and I'm constantly monitoring the price so that the price drops. I can obviously ask for that difference from Costco. So I just wait for a lot of things to go on sale. You can quickly get some apps like Rakuten to give you coupons or cash back. So there's little ways that you can like save money here and there, things that you want to buy. Um, so like for me, um, I basically am very methodical in like how I spend my money. So like if I buy things that I don't really care too much about or by need, like I'll try to wait for it to buy on sale. So we'll monitor it. And we just don't buy like frivolous things just for the sake of like buying it, right? Like I have a bunch of clothes, if I'll be honest, already. So I'm trying to like get rid of like old clothes I never wear to make room for it and to keep it less cluttered. But for me, like everything I buy, I want to make sure that is it something that I'll actually like wear. So for me, what I really spend my most money on, and I don't spare expenses, is that when it comes to like renovating my properties, for me, I really spend my money, and I want to make sure that I want to make it nice, I want to make it durable, I want to make it clean. So when it comes to renovating the property, obviously I want to save as much money as I can, but for me, I will invest in like higher quality things if it lasts longer. Like I would invest in luxury vinyl plank flooring over carpet, knowing that the LVP will last longer than the carpet. I'll invest in like a decent appliance so that it can attract a higher quality tenant, right? So there's things where I know where to spend. And another thing that I spend money on is like travel. So for me, I spare no expense when it comes to travel. If I want to do it when I'm traveling, I will do it, right? But where I do save money is, obviously if you shop around for flights, you can find a cheaper flight. If you fly like at weirder times, um, if you can credit card turn to get travel points like through Chase Reserve, through Chase Preferred, and then you can use that to cover a good chunk of your flight too. I will preface that Chase Reserve, if you book through their travel portal, they do upcharge um, a little bit compared to you buy outside of the platform, but you have points that you can utilize towards it, so it does come out to end up being a free flight. And then in terms of hotel, like we don't really spend on like really nice hotels, like 4 or 5 star hotels, but we do spend on like maybe 2, 3 star hotels in great locations that's affordable, and then you could just walk to the main attractions we want to go to. So like our ideal spot is a hotel that offers free breakfast, so we could only spend money on breakfast, eat a lot of food, and be able to walk to where we want to be and be in a good location, right? Because when we travel, me and Christine at least right now, like we're rarely in the hotel. So why spend money in a hotel that you're never going to be in? But if you're obviously going to be in a hotel, then we'll spend more money to be there, right? But for the most part, when we travel, we're out and about, and most of the day we're rarely home unless we want to sleep, we want to shower, we want to rest. That's it, right? So for us, when we're in Japan, we want to stay in a hotel where it comes with an onsen, so that we could like come home, relax in the onsen, and not pay an extra fee to go to an onsen, right? So these little things that add up over time. So that's the way that we kind of spend. But in terms of like activities, in terms of like food when we travel, like I don't even look at the bill. Like if we want to do it, we'll do it, right? Like there's no like because I know I'm only there once. I'm rarely there, so you might as well take advantage of that opportunity to be there. So I will say that I spend most of my money on like investments on things that I definitely use a lot of, right? Like, for me, I spare no expense on like a laptop, a TV, a couch. Like if it's something that I use a lot, I don't mind spending a lot of money on it. But if it's something that like I don't really use, I don't really care for, like I don't spend that much money on it. And in terms of travel and experiences, I spend money on that. Like if I want to go to a concert, I'll go to a concert. Do I need to be VIP front row? Not really. I'm fine being in the back, right? Just to get that experience, the ambiance. Like, if I want to watch like a sports game, like a football game or a basketball game, I'll go watch, right? Like I don't spare expenses on that stuff. So like in terms of experiences and like travel, I spare no expense, but there's ways to do it in a cost effective way so that I can travel more. Because I know that if I am cost effective about my traveling, I could travel maybe 4 times a year instead of 3 times a year if I'm more conscious about my spending. So the whole point of being frugal is not to be cheap, right? Like I don't like I'm not super cheap or like, hey, like I'm not ordering this appetizer because it's too expensive. It's really it's really about being conscious of how you spend your money and like how are there ways that you can save money without compromising your experience and your enjoyment, your happiness, right? So that's the key message is be very intentional with your spending. And I feel like a lot of people are not intentional with their spending because they're just spending, right? Like, like could you pay $80 for valet parking or just like park for free and walk like 5 to 10 minutes, right? And get some exercise out of it, right? So it's just really these little things that add up, right? Like, okay, I can go to like a basketball game, but maybe I'll eat at a taco truck before to save money instead of eating at the venue, which is like the upcharge of food, right? Like same with Disneyland. Like maybe I could like, eat before I go to Disneyland. So I just eat one meal there. And then after I leave Disneyland, I go eat somewhere else, right? So like it's just these little things that like add up. It sounds very small and minute, but you compound that, it really starts to add up, right? Like a lot of what me and Christine do is we do a lot of day trips so that we save on the hotel. Like, okay, let's say like I'm in LA, I want to drive to San Diego. It's a 3 hour trip. Like instead of staying in San Diego for a day, we just leave really early in the morning at like 6, 7 a.m. Grab a breakfast burrito, eat while we drive, get to San Diego by 8 or 9, and then we spend the whole day there, stay there until like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and then drive home. And then that's a full day, right? It's tiring, but it's a full day. But we save money on hotel. So instead of spending like $200 in a hotel, we can allocate $200 to doing some more activities. Like we can go to a bar, we can go to a nice restaurant, we can do this, we can check out this thing. So that's not the way we travel, and it's like very methodical. So there's like these little things that you can do and little sacrifices that you can make to do that. Because if we stay in a hotel, like we're usually out and about the whole day anyway. So like why go there? Just drive back home, right? And then I drive a Tesla Model Y, and I charge at home. So for the most part, I have solar panels. It's like free for me to like charge my Tesla. So it's like there's like all these little things that you can do to like really cut your costs while still having the experience and then not feeling like you're penny pinching. Like me and Christine, we're both very frugal, and we don't feel like we're penny pinching, right? Like we just know how to spend money to save money. Because why not save money? Because if you save money, I can allocate that money to invest into my financial freedom, into more experiences that I have, right? So that's why we're like very patient. Like even the sofa that we bought, we waited like a year to buy it because we wanted to make sure that, hey, like what do we want to use with this space for? So like we're very conscious and methodical in how we buy things. That's the whole key thing of being frugal. Like there's a lot of little things that you can do here and there to save money, and these are good habits to have because eventually when I'm retired from my job and Christine's retired from her job, like we need to figure out ways to extend our money to still travel and to still enjoy our life. It's a fine balance, right? So just doing all the above. Like there's ways to do that. And even like when you have kids, there's ways to like save money. Like you don't have to do all the activities of the kids. You can like have them do lessons and practice yourself. So there's a lot of ways to really be methodical in how you spend, and I think it's just kind of a thing that was ingrained into me and Christine, and we're very aligned in that aspect. But thanks to being frugal, like I said, I was able to invest in real estate, able to invest in businesses, able to travel, able to have experiences, and have your cake and eat it too, right? There's a way to do all the above. There's a way to do everything without compromising anything, and that's how I feel like me and Christine lived our life. Like we able to build up a large nest egg. We're able to travel. We're able to do experiences and go to concerts and do everything that we want to do. So, like I said, like we're going to a concert in LA here, and we know we're probably gonna eat before we go there. Probably gonna pregame before we enter, and then when we're there, we'll just like get a drink to keep that buzz, and then after we're done, we'll probably just go get some tacos at a taco truck or something, right? Like there's ways to like really enjoy the experience without breaking the bank. Versus why am I gonna pay $30 for like a hot dog there when I can get a hot dog for like $5-10 outside, right? And save that money. So there's ways to do it if you really plan your day and you're very intentional how you spend. It's the people who don't plan their day, they're unintentional of how they spend. Those are the people who like blow through their money. Like I don't even know how much money I spent. So anyways, keep in mind, hopefully you learned something from my frugality, and how that led to me compounding wealth. If you want coaching and mentorship to buy multifamily real estate, click on my link tree down below. From there, you can send me an email if you want a discount code. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.